So I want to recommend you guys this build um, for overall raids. I want to recommend Portal, which is 322 with Focus Rune. Wait, where's my skill? Okay, and the Orchid with Conviction, 332. The Inkwell, 211. And with the Purple Wealth Rune. What was this skill? The Sunwell. The Sunwell, Judgment, 111. Tiger, 222. With Wealth Rune. The Bounce, Legendary Wealth Rune with 111. Yeah, I take level 7 for this if you guys don't need this skill, the other skills. I just take level 7 for this. It gives you it gives you Super Armor level 2, which is really good when you counter. Also for the meter gain, I went for the Wealth Rune, the blue one. But if you guys are lacking of manas without using mana food, you guys can go for Focus Rune, Legendary Focus Rune or Purple Focus Rune, either one is okay. And for the Sun Sketch, I go for 111 because level 3, 3 on the third tripod, it doesn't work actually really good. And you guys can try this out in Trixion. It's not going to give you like hardly any difference. Even you guys use level 5 on this. And this build actually can give out a lot of meters. So let me show you guys this again with the manas. I have manas. Yeah. Okay. So I start with Orchid and the Sunwell, and if I get the Conviction and Judgment, I use my Whitening, Sun Sketch, meter, and you gain the meter like this. And you give up the buff again. I sometimes use my counter as a meter gain because we can actually get the buff right after using it. And meter gain, give up buff. Orchid, Sunwell. Keep gaining the meter. Look at the meter gaining, guys. Look at the meter gaining. It's like way different from your builds. It's way different from your builds. It's giving out 10% buff every like 20 to 30 seconds, and your DPS will love this build. So you can actually give out same buff as the Bard. Bard can give out like 2 buffs every single time. Like this. Look at the meter gain. Meter gain is insane with this build. But I just want to recommend you guys about this build only if your party members are good at playing the raids. Or else you guys will be lacking of shields and they will be complaining, "Yo, artist, why you don't have the shield skill? We want the shield." And you can just change skills instead of this one. You can change to the ink spread or something instead of this blue one, Inkwell. Look at the buff giving outs. 10% buff, like, almost all the time. This build is really good. If you're lacking of a little bit of meter, you can just use counter as a meter gaining. But I just recommend you to save the counter, because supporters should do most of the counters. They're on a duty to do the counters on the boss most of the times. And I also already have my Awakening bag, and use Awakening. I give out 10% buff again after my 10% finishes. Right now it's like 10% buff every single time. 10% buff every single time on your artist. Do you get more meter for landing Ink Wellfish 2 times? This one? It gives you a little bit of a little bit more meter, but I don't want to recommend this because it takes like 5 hours to make this skill work. Wait. Actually, it doesn't work, man. It has lower meter gain, I think. Yeah, there's no difference. So I bet you guys don't want to take this tripod. It's really bad. Just instant cast, you get like 1/4. You get the quarter of the meters. Shouldn't Tiger be 7 if lacking skill points? Yeah, because we don't need the damage. We don't need the damage. You guys can just take this one. It doesn't matter. We don't need the damage, right? We can just keep this skill as 7. This skill should be 10. 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 This skill can be 4, but it's going to be hard. But I just recommend 7 on this skill. Because the porters don't lack much of the skill points. They only need 10s. NAR DPS goblins, you haven't really heard anyone complaining about not having shields if it means the more damage buff. Yep, so this build might be a really good build for DPSers. Which counter do you prefer mostly? Which counter do you prefer? Oh, we have another counter. This one. What is it? This one. This counter is really bad. I just don't want to recommend this counter unless you're playing DPS artist. This is not a good counter unless you play DPS artist. But the meter gain on this skill is actually not really bad. So I see some people running on this skill because of the meter gain. It's pretty good, meter gaining skill. Let me try this out. I think it's the charging one. Wait, I want to see how much meters we gain for this skill. It actually gives you not a lot, but it gives you more than the other counter, I think. Actually, they give out almost the same, but so I will just take this one. It has lesser cooldown. It's like 8 seconds. Even with level 7 gems, this will be like 12 seconds. So I think counter, just taking original counter is going to be better. What about tapping it? Tapping it? Inkwell tripods are 2, 1, and 1. Wait, do you use conviction judgment on sun skills, right? So are you use them? Do you use them rapidly? Isn't mean that you're wasting buff on of sun skills? You mean if I use like Orchid and Sunwell, am I wasting this skill? It doesn't really matter because just giving out like most of your party members are gonna be on the boss's back at the beginning of the fight, so it doesn't matter. Just use this and get conviction and judgment and use your awakening and give out buff with the heal and with the sun draw. I think it's gonna be better. This seems better because they just don't really need to get some better damage at the beginning of the fight because like their hallucination is not activated yet. Like most of their skills are not activated yet. I mean, most of their set effects are not activated. So they're just gonna stay on the back and you can give out the 10% buff with the sun draw. I don't think that matters a lot. You mean it has longer range, so you think it's not that bad? So if we tap, we want to counter, they're kind of the same. Yeah, we can say it's kind of the same, but it doesn't have the super armor. Since artist only has 1 super armor if you don't take the sprinkle. So why not the swiftness prep tripod on Inkwell? Just curious. Swift prep tripod? Inkwell? Swift prep tripod? I mean this one? This is for chaos. If you read the tripod, it says every time you hit the boss, you hit with this skill, it decreases 0.1 second cooldown. So if you're on a Legion raid, yeah, if you're on a Legion raid, it's only gonna decrease like 0.1 second. I think but number 3 is okay also, because okay, I'm currently using number 1 because of some damage I get. I get pretty good damage with this skill. I mean, not a really bad damage. It's not like a really trash damage. So it's, if I get crit, it's like around like 1.6 mil. Without crit, it's like 900, not 900. Yeah, 900,000 damage. So number 3 is okay, but since if we think of the Belshazzar Gate 3, if you take number 3, you can actually hit some other shapes at Gate 3. It might be dangerous. So I just use this tripod because it already it hits all the time. I never miss this skill. I hardly never miss this skill because even you hit it like this, it still hits the boss like this. It's a really good skill. And you know, it starts left from, it goes in on the right side. So if you want the instant meter, you can just put it like this. And it's gonna hit the boss 100% right away. If the boss moves on the back, it's gonna hit on the right side. So it's a really good skill for the meter. How much damage legendary skin give us? If you're a DPS, it actually gives out like 2 to 3%. If you guys have the whole skin, around 3%. Around 3%, yeah.